Hello. It was Abraham Lincoln who said most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be. And I have found over the years that that's true. We can either choose to be happy or choose to be miserable. While it's true that we may have circumstances in our life that can cause us to be unhappy or bring us sorrow or bring us pain, actually, I misstated that. They don't cause us to be unhappy. They can bring us sorrow or pain or grief, sadness or what have you, but we actually choose to be unhappy. I have experienced wonderful things in my life, and yet I wasn't happy. Because, this was many years ago when I was younger, and I just made up my mind that I wasn't conscious about it, but I was making a choice not to be happy, even though things were good and I was doing okay. Something happened that maybe would set me off a little bit and I would just not be happy the rest of it. It could ruin my day. Well, I've since learned that it's never too late to have a good day. That I've developed this attitude, well, if this is the worst thing that happens to me today, I'll be okay. Even when bad things have happened. If this is the worst thing that can happen to me today, then I'll still be okay. So, or at least I know I'm fine, all is well, even though things aren't going the way I want to go. So, years later, I learned that happiness is a choice, and now I've had very sad and bad things happen to me, or difficult things or challenging things or things that can cause me great pain or great grief, but at the same time, I still can choose to be happy. A lot of people ask me, how can you be happy when you're going through this lawsuit after my husband died? I inherited a lawsuit that cost me a lot of money. It should have died with David, but it didn't. And so I had to deal with that for a full year, more like a year and a half after he died. I had to sell his car in order to be able to finance this lawsuit. And trust me, I could have used that car or the money for that car for a lot more important things than paying a lawyer. And so here I was grieving my husband's death and dealing with all this lawsuit and some of the challenges that were coming with that, plus just going through the challenges of being a widow. And I still was happy. I mean, I really wasn't miserable. I was still happy. Why? Because I chose to be happy. How can I get past some of the bad things, even though I was under a great deal of stress? By counting all the things that I was grateful for. Someone once challenged me, write down a list of the things that you're grateful for. And I thought, well, I'm going through all this horrible stuff. How could I possibly be grateful? So I did. I sat down and wrote a list of what I was grateful for. And I realized, oh my gosh, life isn't as bad as I thought. I don't have to make this one event or this one series of events or this one big thing that's going on ruin my day or my life. I had my first exposure to that, and I think I shared this in an earlier video. I had my first exposure to that when it was after my brother was murdered, and I realized that he wouldn't want me to ruin my life because he left this life the way he did. There are very few people who get to leave this world the way my parents did, asleep in their beds. And so that's just a wonderful blessing that not everybody gets. But the truth is, we're all going to leave this world. And it was just, he left the world when he did. And the way he left it was unfortunate. But I knew that he would not want me to ruin my life. I knew he wouldn't want me to get sick over it, because if I buried that kind of anger and hatred and sense of injustice, then it could, like what we say, what we plant grows, and it could grow those seeds of resentment and seeds of anger could grow all kinds of illness, disease, discomfort, what have you. So I made the decision to be grateful for those things for which I should be grateful. I had a beautiful little girl. She was 1.5 years old when my brother was murdered. I had a wonderful life. I had a lot of support. I had people who cared about me. I had a very good community around me at the time. And there were many, many things I could be grateful for. So I chose to focus on that. And ever since then, I try to choose to focus on the things I'm grateful for. And then once I heard the saying that it's never too late to have a good day, I thought, that's true, because I could just have trouble driving into work or have this problem that would totally occupy my entire day, my entire life. Now I don't live through my problems. I deal with my problems, and sometimes they're ongoing and it takes a long time to deal with them. If that's the case, I take the time it is to deal with them, but I set them on a shelf and realize that those are just a part of life. They're not my whole life. Boy, my whole attitude changed when I had that understanding. So good old Honest Abe was being honest and right. Most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be. So I hope that you make up your mind to be happy. And if you can't be happy, then start out being grateful, because gratitude is what leads to happiness. Today is Halloween. Actually, well, tonight is Halloween. But I realize those people watching this video goes on YouTube and it gets put on the internet, and it could be out there. People could be watching this 5 years from now. And it might be New Year's Eve when they're watching it. So they may not be watching it when it's Halloween, but I hope those of you who are watching it now or in the future that you have a very happy and safe Halloween. Make up your mind to be happy and have a happy and safe Halloween. It's never too late to have a great day. Take care. This is Diana Papilli signing off, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.